Time now for Fantasy Friction, and we are joined by the first couple of fantasy football, April Shee and Owais Ahmed. And actually, we missed you all last week, and I understand it was for an alleged surgical procedure. Can we get some details on that?
Yeah, Norm, I'm back after getting some surgery. I was put under some inguinal hernia repair, but I am back just like the Ravens are back after a win over America's team, the Dallas Cowboys. We're on to the Super Bowl, baby. Woo!
Well, I see his energy is back up, so maybe I won't have to caretake anymore.
Yeah, the only reason I'm here today is because of my lovely girlfriend, April. She took great care of me.
Yeah, I'm glad you're happy with the Ravens. You know, you still have the whiniest coach in football, but we'll leave John Harbaugh alone right now. So this week, April and Owais, what is the one game you're looking at for best fantasy action?
Well, this might not come as a surprise if you've been following along, but I'm going to take Packers-Lions. I mean, that's going to be the highest scoring game of the week.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. The Sharps in Vegas agree. A 55.5 point over-under total when it comes to the betting. So we're going to expect to see a lot of touchdowns in this game.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, listen, I normally wouldn't take any Lions at all, but knowing how bad the Packers' run defense is, I think that there's actually an opening for maybe Adrian Peterson if Swift is out.
Yeah, DeAndre Swift practicing limited this week. Yeah, I agree with that. Like, I like Adrian Peterson, and the last couple Lions games that I did watch, although one of them was on Percocet, I must say, Stafford just looked at Marvin Jones a lot. All he did was look his way. It was as if he saw the ghost of Calvin Johnson. He's like, is that Megatron? Catch the ball.
Marvin Jones Jr. is not Calvin Johnson, but he might be a good pick this week at $5,800 on DraftKings. I mean, you know, I think he might be a starter, but I'm more interested on the Packers side, as per usual. And, of course, you have to take some Aaron Jones, who is just crushing. I mean,
he crushed the Lions earlier this season. He put up like 48 points or 46, I don't know, 40-something points.
But I think Aaron Rodgers is going to go through the air since he's like an MVP contender. And I'm thinking Allen Lazard. I mean, I know that MVS is technically the number 2, but I don't trust that man to catch any footballs. So Allen Lazard, again, this is my, I think, second or third time picking him.
You know what, though? I will say that the name of the show is Gambling Mad, and I'm going to be mad for some MVS, Marquez Valley Scantling, whatever the name is.
Valdez Scantling.
Yeah, whatever. I'm mad for him. He runs deep. He normally drops the ball, but I see 134 yards, 8 catches this week.
I mean, he certainly has potential, and Aaron Rodgers keeps going back to him for some reason because he's a better man than I am. I actually, you know, you can take all the MVS. I'm taking Tunyon again because that man is a beast. And, you know, 3 straight games with a touchdown. Like, I feel like he's, you know, the TE you want.
Yeah, tight ends are very tough to pick in fantasy, and Tunyon seems like a good option. He's only $4,800 on DraftKings, so you aren't paying a lot, and he can put up 2 or 3 touchdowns. He's done it before.
Okay, the only suggestion I'm really going to take out of all this is to watch Lions games on Percocet, which I think is really the smartest thing you've ever said, Owais. Who are your sleeper picks this week? Who's the sleeper of the week from you?
All right, normally I go against this team, but this week I'm saying pick their players, the New York Jets.
I think he's still high on drugs.
All right, listen. The Seattle Seahawks are the worst fantasy football defense in the league. They allow the most points to wide receivers, and they like the 20th most to running backs.
Yeah. This may be true, except for the Jets are like actively trying to lose games at this point, and it's like obviously so.
They still have to score points, and someone has to put up the touchdowns. My pick this week is Brashard Perryman, former number 1 first-round pick by the Ravens, by the way. So
and how'd that work out?
This guy has some talent.
Yes, he does.
Why did you guys drop it?
You know
what
what?
happened?
If Ozzie Newsome saw talent in this guy, he's got talent. That's all I'm saying. And this week, Denzel Mims, the star wide receiver of the Jets, is out. I see all the targets going to Perriman. Perriman is going to have over 10 targets. He's going to have over 100 yards because the Seahawks are the legion of nothing.
And how about from the running game? The Seahawks also don't do real well defensively there, do they?
Yeah. Last week they allowed over 100 rush yards to Wayne Gallman of the New York Giants. They got another New York running back coming in this week. We don't know who's starting for the Jets. Is it going to be Frank Gore on his walker and wheelchair? Or is it going to be the young kid, Ty Johnson? If Frank Gore is out, I love Ty Johnson. That's an injury situation to monitor. Ty Johnson last week ran for over 100 yards when Frank Gore was out. And he's just such a value play where you could legitimately see 25-plus fantasy points from Ty Johnson.
Yeah, I might put him in a couple lineups, but I'm pretty much staying far away from the Jets.
As you should. And I hope, even if the fans were allowed into the stadium, I hope they just stay in the upper deck and drink as much as they usually do. What's your Hail Mary? You got to have a Hail Mary this week to make the big money?
The one game I watched every play of last week was the Ravens versus Cowboys. And the one thing I noticed, the Cowboys defense sucks.
Yeah, that's true. We can agree there.
If the Seahawks are the worst fantasy defense, Cowboys are the second worst fantasy defense. And guess who's playing them? The Bungles. I mean, Bengals? Bungles?
Bengals.
Bengals. Okay. Aren't those the things you wear on your wrist? Bengals? No? Okay.
Oh, my God. What is happening?
Well, the Bengals have two healthy wide receivers in Tyler Boyd and T. Higgins.
Yeah, I think you can stack them with Brandon Allen this week, and just take a couple of them. You don't want them in all your lineups.
So Brandon Allen with T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd is my Hail Mary for $1 million. Very contrarian. No one's going to take Brandon Allen because he can barely throw the ball.
Who's quarterbacking? Who's going to get the ball to these Bengals receivers against the terrible defense that the Cowboys have?
Brandon Allen, the quarterback. I know. Norm, have you not been listening? Are you on Percocet?
I'm trying to reiterate the point
might not be able to throw the ball. I understand what you're saying,
that's
Norm,
what I'm saying.
but
Sorry.
Just in case he accidentally flicks it into the hands of one of these guys, you might win $1 million.
Okay, well, I appreciate the insight from you guys. April, if you can kind of slow down on the caregiving and perhaps then we won't see Owais anytime soon. That would be nice. April Shih and Owais Ahmed, always a pleasure on Fantasy Friction. We'll see you again next week.
I wish we could see the same.
Bye, Norm.
Bye-bye.